Core inflation came in at 1.7%. Whoop-de-doo. Still well below the Fed's target, but does it make it more likely, does it give the Fed more ability next week to talk about maybe balance sheet reduction?
They signalled clearly, Vonnie, that September is going to be all about this question of balance sheet reduction. Interest rates, if we're honest with ourselves, don't really come on the table again to December. I wouldn't quite say whoop-de-doo, but I wouldn't disassociate myself from the sentiment.
So what about hurricane data coming in? We're going to be seeing it now for several weeks. Does this impact the inflation data? Will it impact any kind of decision-making by the Fed?
It may impact some data. You might particularly see it with some of the jobless claims numbers going forward. I don't think it means anything for the Fed because it doesn't appear to be structural. If you go back to Hurricane Katrina in 2005, there was a lot of speculation that the Fed would pause in what was then its campaign of quarter-point increases. Didn't happen.
Dan, one of my favourite stories today, Fed officials admit they've lost some inflation credibility. I suppose that story could be written about the ECB, the BOJ, or even the Bank of England. They're overshooting.
It could. The debate has a little bit more tension in the United States because the Fed is that much further along on the interest rate path. What's really troubling the Fed, and it's troubling some officials more than others, I'm not sure it's really shaken the core group at the Fed, is that PCE, and we'll get those numbers later this month, which is the key thing the Fed looks at, has actually retreated from its target as the labour market has tightened. It hasn't moved toward it, it's moved away from it. And that's really sharpened this discussion of, look, do we understand what's going on now? I'm not sure they're walking away from a link between inflation and low unemployment. They are asking themselves, do we fully understand the link? And in the post-recession environment, is it going to happen at 3.5, 3, 2.5, rather than the current rate that we're at now?